Let's go ahead and try configuring some Autorun. So here we have an animation that is currently just a regular scroll. So let me save this draft really quick and we can preview it. So right now we're just scrolling through very normally this this poem by that little known poet Edgar Allan Poe. And this experience is totally fine, though just as an example, I'd like to show, instead of having to scroll manually through each one of these frames, I'm going to show what it would be like to configure Autorun instead. So, as a refresher, Autorun is what we use when we want to have the sequence autoplay during certain sections. So if we have a scroll or manual sequence selected, you can press these arrows over here to bring up the Autorun menu, and wherever you want your sequence to start, you can place the Autorun start, and for every pause point, you'll want to create an Autorun pause. So we're going to pause here, and then we're also going to pause here at the while I nodded nearly napping. And then once we get to this point, we're actually going to want to stop the Autorun, right? Because at this point, we want the user to begin scrolling at their own leisure through the rest of the content. And so if we press the preview button, we'll see what that would look like. Okay. And if we refresh the page here, seeing our content, now when we scroll even just a little bit, we'll see that the animation happens without us needing to put in any more, take any additional action. Okay, importantly, the users can override the direction of the Autorun. So if they want to go back, that is totally possible. Also, if you are swiping on a mobile device, you can override the Autorun and go through it. Your touch input will take precedence over the Autorun. So that's something to keep in mind there. And I'll show you also how you can configure a workflow detail that could be useful as well. So you'll see right here that we have more text that we'd like to show at this point, but our keyframe ends right here, right? So we need to extend this keyframe out. And what I like to do is I'll actually bring up my calculator, right? And so we are at 5760 right now. The general rule of thumb is to go 1920 pixels or units for every 1.7 seconds, right? So I'll just add 1920 to here. And so our new position is 7680. So I'll go ahead and put that into the input for the keyframe. Whoops, 7680. And I'll add 1.7 seconds to here. So we'll go to 6.8 seconds. And so now we have the rest of the content showing. And this will be scroll because now we've finished the Autorun. And let's go ahead and save that and take a look at what that will look like. So here, yes, we Autorun, then we Autorun, and then we Autorun. And now here begins the regular scroll experience. Okay, and then if we go back into the Autorun threshold, we will go back into autoplaying. And so that is how you can configure Autorun. And there's a lot of possibilities here. You can, for example, insert cinematic animations, frame-by-frame animations, do other kinds of effects. So that gives you the power of having these cinematic sequences alongside more interactive sequences, ones that users can go through at their own leisure. An additional note concerning Autorun is that I have some defaults in here in place to prevent the misconfiguration of Autorun. For example, you can't have two autorun starts in a row, right? So if you try to add an autorun start here, you are unable to, because the system needs to know when to start, when to pause, and when to stop. Okay, so between an autorun start and an autorun stop, you can have pauses, as many pauses as you'd like, right? But you also cannot place autorun pauses on top of each other, or any kind of autorun on top of another one. Otherwise, they would conflict. Okay, so if you try to click and drag these autorun out of configuration, will highlight in red to let you know that this is misconfigured and this will fire an error and will not work. Okay, so whenever you see that, just make sure that you correct it. And yeah, at a high level, there's just some details here regarding the misconfiguration of Autorun. And so if you see the red come up, try to resolve it. So Autorun should start, it can pause, and then it should end. And if it ends, you're free to start, and then pause, and then end again. So just keep that in mind when you're configuring Autorun.